Good morning. February is American Heart Month. February 2nd, the WPBF 25 team wore red on the air to support the American Heart Association's Go Red for Women initiative. This morning, we're going to continue that mission. Joining us now is Dr. Aisha Lopez, internist with the Mount Sinai, New York's West Palm Beach location. She is also an American Heart Association volunteer expert, and she's also wearing red. Dr. Lopez, first, thanks for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
You have a very unique personal story that's wonderful to hear. If you could share some of that, then we'll talk about your connection with the American Heart Association.
Well, thank you for having me here. I have been a physician for 29 years. I became a primary care doctor, and I choose internal medicine because I definitely have a strong belief in wellness and preventing diseases. Definitely heart disease, cardiovascular disease has a very high incidence in our country and in the entire world. So for me, I grew up in a country that many didn't have the ability to take a closer look to the quality of their life. And unfortunately, they develop diseases that were chronic at a fairly early age.
And did this actually influence your passion for even this particular part of your career, internist, but also the focus on cardiovascular health? Was it something that really was sparked then?
Of course. And specifically as a primary care doctor working on wellness, prevention is key. Once the disease is there, definitely treatment is available, but it's very important to work on prevention. And internists, primary care doctors, family physicians play definitely a huge role on prevention of heart diseases, stroke.
I think this is important to get to, and that is some of the misconceptions you may hear in your own practice about the signs of stroke and heart disease. Maybe some of what people believe that just isn't true or that they don't know enough. What are the types of factors that you hear in talking with patients?
There are many misconceptions about heart disease and stroke. One is age and gender. So many patients has the belief that this disease is mainly affecting men and older patients. That is not right. Heart disease may affect people at any age, and both men and women. That's why it's so important that patients, actually, I encourage my patients to choose always a very healthy lifestyle, because you can prevent those diseases by doing simple things. So be careful with your diet, exercise, don't smoke. Also, see your doctor. If you visit primary doctors like me, it's important to also evaluate risk factors and prevent those risk factors to become a problem in the future.
Let's talk about those. You said a lot there, but let's talk about that in particular. Mm-hmm. Can you outline some of that for us?
Of course. So if you prevent those diseases from happening, you have to work usually in those risk factors, and that can be, you can do that by modifying multiple things in the way you live, lifestyle modifications.
Give me some examples.
Okay, eat better, let's say. So if you eat a diet that is rich in fruits, vegetables, legumes, and lean protein, you are supporting a healthier body. If at the same time you have to avoid fried food, unsaturated fats, don't drink too much alcohol, so limit the alcohol intake, and also too many carbohydrates and sweets. All those things should be avoided. Exercise. So exercising is also very important.
Now, what kind of exercise? If you have a patient who is not exercising, how do you suggest they start? What are the parameters?
So I always tell the patient that any physical activity counts. So let's start by saying that I'd rather have my patients doing anything like walking, dancing, gardening, than just doing nothing and spending the majority of the day sitting. The recommendation is actually to do at least 30 minutes of moderate activity or exercise, moderately intense exercise for at least 5 days. So approximately 150 minutes of exercise to support cardiovascular health.
All right, let's talk one more thing before I let you go, and that is the connection between high blood pressure and cardiovascular disease and stroke. People may not realize that they are linked.
Yeah, definitely. So when a patient has hypertension, the hypertension will create problems with blood flow into their organs, vital organs, and the body in general. And this actually can cause heart disease and a stroke. Many times hypertension is described as the silent killer. And that is because patients many times don't feel symptoms or signs when the blood pressure is high, and that is very risky. So it's important for the patients to see a physician regularly. Every time the patient visits a doctor, the blood pressure is measured. So just right there, they know how their numbers are. So in those follow-ups, many times is also the right time to explain what those numbers mean. Explain the patients that they can also measure the blood pressure at home if the readings at the office are high or borderline high. It's also important to explain what can they do in terms of diet, exercise, modifying some factors that are actually contributing to those high readings, losing weight, quit smoking. So all that happens in the visit. So when you see a physician regularly, your blood pressure is measured. We can talk about numbers, what those numbers mean, what is normal blood pressure, what is high, and also have a plan to work on decreasing or fight those risk factors to prevent that.
Let me conclude here because we have other guests, but I want to just say the bottom line is see your doctor.
Definitely, yes.
All right.
And live a healthy life.
All right. Good advice from Dr. Arisa Lopez. Thanks for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
Appreciate it. We have much more to get to. Next, my co-anchor, Nathalie Pozzo, talks with a stroke survivor who is sharing an incredible story.
A Marzo roof is the last roof you'll ever need. With our year-end sales spectacular, call by Wednesday and get up to $1,000 off. Make it easy with the Marzo Done Right Guarantee. The best warranty and a 24-hour callback. Marzo is roofing done right for over 30 years.
Tickets on sale now for the Donald M. Ephraim Sun and Stars International Film Festival, held February 27th through March 11th.
It's halftime. Time to hit the bathroom.
Shower. It works. Got 2 more upstairs.
And the bedrooms.
I don't know what goes on in there.
And the living room.
It's a hangout house. That's why I'm moving.
And get an offer on your house. Selling your home to Open Door is so easy, you can do it during halftime. Sign up for a halftime showing at opendoor.com.
Introducing a symphony of new possibilities at Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino. With live craps, roulette, and sports betting alongside our classic ensemble of slots, blackjack, and baccarat. Discover a new era. Discover your rhythm.
In Florida, hurricanes are a part of life. That's why over 100,000 Floridians have made StormSmart a part of theirs. Our Category 5 storm catcher screens, shutters, and high-impact windows are designed to help protect your home from hurricane winds, rain, and airborne debris. In fact, StormSmart can protect every opening in your home. If you live in Florida, extreme weather is a part of life, but for year-round storm protection, you can count on StormSmart. Call 866-60-SMART today for your free in-home consultation.
A Marzo roof is the last roof you'll ever need. With our year-end sales spectacular, call by Wednesday and get up to $1,000 off. Make it easy with the Marzo Done Right Guarantee. The best warranty and a 24-hour callback. Marzo is roofing done right for over 30 years.
You're watching On the Record on WPBF 25.
Welcome back. As you just heard, we are raising awareness about heart health and women. Joining me now is Marissa Fattori from Vero Beach, a stroke survivor. And Marissa, I think when so many people hear you are a stroke survivor and they look at you, they say, but she's so young.
Sure.
You must get that a lot.
Absolutely, yes.
So tell us a little bit about yourself and your story.
Yeah, so I'm Marissa Fattori. I am currently 32 years old. I live in Vero Beach, Florida with my boyfriend Michael and our 2 fur babies, Ella Bella. And I had a stroke when I was 21 years old at my college graduation ceremony.
Tell us about that. So what exactly happened?
Yeah, so I woke up the day of my ceremony feeling a little off. I'd say I had a sharp headache and just felt a little disoriented. Being at my graduation day, I kind of chalked that up as typical graduation nerves. You know, surely other people had felt a little nervous that day and out of the ordinary. So I kind of dismissed those symptoms and proceeded on to my graduation ceremony. I was able to cross the stage, receive my diploma, and sit back down. And that is the very last thing that I remember.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. So then what happened next?
Yeah, so what I later found out from family, friends, doctors.
You woke up in the hospital after this.
I did, yeah. So as you can imagine, I woke up in the hospital. That's the next thing I remembered. But from what I was told by others, I had collapsed to my seat shortly after receiving my diploma and started seizing. Luckily, there was EMS on site of the graduation, and they were able to quickly rush me to the hospital. After various tests, doctors determined that I had suffered from a rare form of stroke known as CVST. So I essentially had a blood clot in my brain. Luckily, they were quickly able to prescribe me some anti-clotting and anti-seizure medications, which helps me recover quickly, but I still did have some deficits, trouble speaking, and even walking. So, yeah.
Marissa, do you think, had the ambulance not gotten there when it did, had someone not called for help and maybe realized what was going on in that moment, what could have happened?
Absolutely. I think in any stroke situation, acting fast is so important. And that's actually some of the signs you can associate with the word fast.
Yeah, let's go over that. So explain to us what fast is and the signs associated with each of those letters.
Sure. So FAST is an easy acronym to remember, help you remember the signs of stroke. So the F in FAST stands for face drooping. The A stands for arm weakness, the S for slurred speech, and the T for time to call 911.
And I mean, it's just so important to know those signs. I was telling you about a former coworker of mine whose husband knew what the signs were and fortunately got her the help that she needed in that moment. What do you want viewers here who may be watching and hearing your story to know?
Yeah, I think my message is very clear. Stroke can happen to anyone at any age. Walking across that graduation stage at just 21 years old, a stroke wasn't even a thought in my mind.
Of course.
Something I associated with an older population. Now knowing the signs and symptoms I was experiencing, as well as the risk factors, I look back and things could have been different. But now moving forward, I just really want to encourage everyone to educate themselves on the signs and their own personal risk factors.
We hear so much during Heart Month, during February, know your numbers, and that goes back to blood pressure. A lot of doctors always say, hey, if you know your numbers, maybe this is possibly something that you can prevent doing, because blood pressure is so associated with stroke and with heart disease. Not to say that was your case at all. I know that your situation was different, but I know that's something that a lot of doctors advocate for.
Absolutely. So important to know your numbers, especially blood pressure.
Yeah. So you're part of the 2024 class of Real Women. What exactly is that?
Yeah. So I am so honored to be a part of this group of 12 amazing individuals. We call ourselves more like a sisterhood. They are all also survivors of either heart disease or stroke. And essentially we come together this year in 2024 to advocate on behalf of heart and brain health. So we're all sharing our stories and opening up to just encourage others to be vigilant. Like myself, many of them are unlikely faces of stroke.
I bet there's just so much inspiration in that group of women, and so much you can learn from each other as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I think something that I've definitely learned coming out of the group is the power in togetherness. So not only have we all been through these moments in our lives, but we can share our different stories with each other. And I've learned some things that I may not have even known. So it's important one of the major things I've learned is that cardiovascular disease is the #1 killer of women. And women in particular have unique risk factors. So it's really, really important to just educate yourselves on those risk factors and take proactive action.
Well, Marissa, thank you so much for sharing your story with us today. We are so happy that you are here and that you are healthy. And again, just thank you for being here and just passing along your message to others.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Coming up next on The Record, my co-anchor Todd McDermott goes on the record with a local woman who survived heart failure while pregnant.
WPBF 25 celebrates Black History Month, a group of local Black business owners meeting to help each other succeed. Every Friday morning, the group of entrepreneurs meet and work together to build their community while building each other up.
We have been able to get to know each other, build genuine relationships.
The Building for Us Network's goal is to make sure Black-owned businesses survive and thrive. All this month, WPBF 25 brings you stories that celebrate Black History Month.
Most accurate, most trusted. When weather turns extreme, count on Chris.
Expectations are important. It's why we raised yours. How we get there matters. Get exceptional offers at your local Audi dealer.
All Free Clear is the #1 doctor-recommended brand for sensitive skin.
Whether you have a family with sensitive skin,
or you do yourself.
For a gentle and effective clean, all you need is All Free Clear.
If you're looking for the yard of your dreams, look no further than Moon Valley Nurseries. America's largest box tree grower is now open in Riviera Beach. Here, you'll find a wide assortment of mature trees and hedges. Our courteous and knowledgeable team will assist you from planning to planting. Create a yard that ensures privacy and a place your family will love. Benefit from our stress-free white glove service and take advantage of our weather protection plans. From small projects to complete yard transformations, we've got what you're looking for. Come see us today.
diabetes can serve up a lot of questions. Like, what is your glucose and can you have more carbs? Before you decide. With the Freestyle Libre 3 system, know your glucose and where it's heading. No finger sticks needed. Now the world's smallest and thinnest sensor sends your glucose levels directly to your smartphone. Manage your diabetes with more confidence and lower your A1C, the #1 CGM prescribed in the US. Try it for free at freestylelibre.us.
The savings just got bigger at City Furniture's President's Day event. With up to 25% off must-have styles, plus free premium delivery now through Monday. City Furniture. Visit us in-store or online.
We could tell you what it's capable of. Or you could find out for yourself. How we get there matters. Get exceptional offers at your local Audi dealer.
Welcome back. Joining me now to go on the record, Yanela Vickers of Port St. Lucie. She is a survivor who now saves lives herself. Yanela, first, thank you for being here. Tell us first, you have an amazing journey of your own to share with people.
I do. My goodness, it's been quite the journey. I currently work as an EMS provider with Cleveland Clinic, Florida. And then I'm also a survivor of peripartum cardiomyopathy.
And you were very young when this happened.
I was 18 years old.
Can you describe what happened to you?
I was expecting. It was an unplanned pregnancy, but I decided to move forward with it. Throughout the entire pregnancy, it was just chaos, but everything kind of triggered significantly during my second trimester. I experienced beyond comprehension signs and symptoms that don't associate with a regular pregnancy.
Tell people just at least a couple of those so they know.
So you mean like average?
The symptoms that you had.
Yeah, so some of the symptoms were syncope. I would pass out constantly with any regular activity, severe migraines, on top of the nausea, the vomiting, and the weakness and fatigue was tremendous.
And what were doctors telling you at the time as a young woman?
That it was all associated with regular pregnancy, that I was young, and since I was athletic and, you know, they didn't think that anything was attributed to any cardiovascular disease.
Did you have any idea that you had the feelings that there was something else?
Oh, absolutely.
How did you advocate for yourself and get these doctors to figure it out?
I kept going back to the emergency room over and over again. As my symptoms got worse, I kept going back until it got to one point where I became very defiant and rebellious with the healthcare providers, and I said, something is wrong. Something has to be done here. I don't feel well.
And what was the actual outcome? What actually happened to you?
I essentially got diagnosed with the peripartum cardiomyopathy while I was still pregnant. The baby that I was carrying was diagnosed with fetal hydrops, which is a very high-risk pregnancy where the baby accumulated this unbenign fluid in her internal organs that didn't let her progress. I lost the baby after delivering her naturally.
I'm so sorry.
Thank you. And then shortly after delivering her, I went into full cardiac failure.
And you are here today.
And I am here today.
Thank goodness. And you, probably because of your own advocacy
Absolutely.
on your behalf as a very, very young woman. And now, as you mentioned, you work as a paramedic. I have to ask you, did this career, did you choose it or did it choose you based on all you've been through?
I think both. I think both because not being able to defend myself and advocate for my own health at that time, it left me clueless to what I had to do and how to speak the terminology, speak their language, and kind of rebuttal any type of communication. So I challenged myself, not only for me though, for my family as well, because you know we're immigrants and we don't speak the language. So I had to learn how to advocate, and then it did essentially serve in my best interest because here I am.
Here you are today, and I know you are a big supporter of Go Red.
Oh yes, oh yes, true champion, American Heart Association all the way.
That's fantastic. What would you tell people about this mission right now to raise awareness about cardiovascular disease, about stroke?
Absolutely. So the Go Red for Women with the American Heart Association champions cardiovascular health and prevention. And we're truly trying to advocate for all women to take care of themselves differently, to really speak up when things don't feel right, and just to continue to take care of themselves and echo the message that cardiovascular disease is the #1 leading killer.
We're so glad you're here.
Thank you.
To spread the word and do what you do now.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
In so many ways. Vickers, thanks for going on the record with us, and we'll be right back.
Car accidents can occur in the blink of an eye, but the injuries can last a lifetime. Injured in an accident? Call Smith, Ball, Baez, and Prather at 500-HELP. 500-HELP. HELP is just a local phone call away.
WPBF 25's Sunday morning lineup is sponsored by HealthSun.
There's a lot of things in this world happening right now, and consumers like myself want some level of control.
My name is Amy. I've been with FPL over 6 years. There's so many initiatives to help us continue to deliver clean, reliable, and safe energy to our customers.
We've transitioned from foreign oil to natural gas, and we're moving responsibly towards solar, battery, and green hydrogen, and this will all ultimately bring savings to the customer.
I know that FPL is looking at other ways to produce energy that down the line will reduce my bill, and the future is bright.
I can't wait to get out of here. And right into my shower. Dial with Hydro Clean Complex and Vitamin E. Cleanses deep but is gentle on skin. Dial up your day. Let's do this.
I'm Jill Hazy.
And I'm Erin Burns.
We invite you to join us this Sunday for Total Retirement with Ernie Burns, where we'll discuss
wealth management, estate planning, and more.
Ernie was named 2022's Forbes Best In-State Security Professional. You don't want to miss it.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can it keep me warm when I'm cold?
Wait, no, I'm always hot.
Sleep Number does that.
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer? Sleep Number does that.
Can it help us sleep better and better?
Please.
Sleep Number does that. 94% of smart sleepers report better sleep. Now, save 50% on the Sleep Number limited edition smart bed, plus free home delivery when you add any base. Ends President's Day.
Welcome back to Sunday with a Chance of Winning. Final question. Which one of these benefits can you receive every year if you enroll with HealthSun?
Is it $5,000 for comprehensive dental services? $2,400 for groceries, home and pet care supplies and utilities? $1,500 for OTC items, or all of the above?
Cindy?
D, all of them!
Call us today to learn more about our benefits.
At Smith, Ball, Baez, and Prather, our legal team lives in this community, supports this community, and serves our clients in this community. Call us at 500-HELP, 500-HELP. Help is just a local phone call away.
We hope our conversation this morning has helped you to protect yourself against heart disease. Thank you so much for making us a part of your morning.
And as always, we encourage you to be part of our discussion every Sunday morning right here at 10 o'clock. Until then, you can watch this morning's On the Record program and every episode on our website, WPBF.com. They're also available on our free WPBF 25 news app. Matter of Fact with Soledad O'Brien is next. Hope to see you again next Sunday. We're going to leave you with another look at Go Red Day here at WPBF 25. We hope you have a great day.